Day. This is the first time that India brings home the coveted award for the coveted crown of Miss Universe after 42 years. And with us right now is the lady wearing the crown, the beauty queen, Miss India, and now Miss Universe 1994, Sushmita Sen. Welcome to our show tonight.
Thank you.
I hope
so
you're
much.
not too tired for a few questions.
Oh, no, not. It'll be my pleasure.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. She's going to go do some poetry for us later on, so something to look forward to. Now, if I read my script correctly and all the articles that have come out, it says that your only wish or your desire was to be one of the 10 finalists.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, then you became one of the 6, then one of the 3, and then now Miss Universe. First, let's rewind. When you were chosen as one of the 10, what was the feeling? What were the thoughts going through your head?
Well, the very fact that I wanted to be chosen in the first 10 was because to go anywhere beyond that, you have to be first in the 10. And I didn't want to think about the final 3 or the final 6 because it was first the final 10 I had to clear. So when I actually cleared the final 10, and that too the first go in, the first person for the shortlisting for 10 was India. And it was a moment of joy for me. I was really, really excited because I knew that my only advantage, which I think is very strong, is the gift of gab. You know, I can talk. And if I didn't get an opportunity to open my mouth and speak, then I had lost the crown as it is.
So for you, that was your edge?
Yeah, that was my edge. And touch wood, I got an opportunity to speak, and I made it to the 6. The 6, I made it to the 3.
Okay.
And then I finally got the crown.
We all saw that, right, on ABS-CBN. We saw that surprise in your face, especially when you were announced as Miss Universe, Miss India. Your face, your expression. Now, how do you feel that, you know, here in the Philippines, since the moment you all got off the plane, we were already having our bets and our guesses, our favored delegates to win Miss Universe, and not every list had you there. Did you feel discouraged at the time? Did you think, oh, they're favoring so-and-so, I don't have a chance? Did it ever enter your mind? That you were not favored to win?
Well, I personally feel that everybody cannot be a favorite for everyone. You know, you cannot change the fact everybody has a very different taste and a very different idea of beauty. And, well, you know, the first thing that attracts you to a person or you make the person a favorite is the exterior of a person. Probably the looks, the figure, you know, just the attire of a person. But what the judges were looking for was just not the attire. It's the inside of a person, the personality in a whole, you know.
That's right.
So I guess you do get discouraged sometimes. You feel, you know, that, oh my God, why am I not being, you know, talked about or written about? But then it's better to be right there, and if you get somewhere, it's a bigger achievement for you than to be right up there and then fall so low down, you know. And the other thing was that the judges, and by meeting them and everything, had one thing I told even them, the same thing was that my plus point was that I had very few people who were favoring me, but who were favoring me were genuinely favoring me, you know. They were not for anybody else, and that made me feel great.
Very good, very good. Now, when you won as Miss India back home, how different was that pageant? I don't mean by production-wise as compared to Miss Universe, but I mean, when you won as Miss India, what was the difference? Was there a difference after winning Miss India and now being Miss Universe?
Well, Miss India was something that I felt proud, that I've proven myself and I had made my parents proud. Miss Universe is something which I feel I made my country proud. So it's a bigger sense of achievement.
Very good. She represents her country very well, as we've seen in the last few days, and you're going to see for the next year, how Sushmita sees the world. Now, she was actually tied. Am I correct? You were tied with a girl for Miss India, for the title of Miss India.
That's right.
And you won because of one question, which was, what historical event would you change? And your answer was?
My answer was, if I could miraculously change one historic event in the past, it would be the assassination of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, because I feel that she was one lady who changed the entire history of an Indian woman with great dignity, poise, and confidence.
Beautiful. And that's what got you
the crown,
that crown. What was her answer? Do you remember?
I think Aishwarya's answer was that if she could change something, she would change the date of her birth, because she thought that If she was born earlier, she could be the master of sorts, and she could avoid the wars of the world from happening.
So she would fix the world.
Yes.
And you wanted to save the world with the one person who you believed in.
Well, that's because I don't think I have the capacity or the power to change the world all by myself.
Very good.
I don't.
That's great. But you see the world in a different way. You actually said that it's better to have aspirations than to be ambitious.
True.
What's the difference for you?
The difference is when people are ambitious, they make aims, they make goals, but they don't work really towards it. They just dream about it and they're happy about it that they have a dream. Well, that's fair enough. It's nice to have a dream, but you must work to make it come true. Whereas people who aspire, they work for what they want. They don't start making a castle. They first lay a foundation.
Okay. Now, in your case, there's actually two of her. There are two faces that she wears. You said at the Miss Universe pageant that you have to have a face for others and a face for yourself.
True.
Which face do you think won Miss Universe? The model, the soon-to-be TV personality, or the face that you keep for yourself that you revealed to the world?
Actually, I think it was a combination of both of them. Because any one of them taken separately is very boring. Your personality is made of both of them.
So that's what won.
That's
Again,
what
the edge, as far as Miss Universe is concerned, is the gift of gab, the inner person inside Sushmita, not so much the showbiz, which is very good because it's very hard sometimes. A lot of the pageant questions and pageant answers are exactly that, pageant questions.
See, the fact remains that whoever's chosen Miss Universe every year is meant to be an ambassador of sorts, who is supposed to be an ambassador of goodwill, and who's able to propagate the idea of peace, brotherhood, love amongst people. Well, to be very honest, a face can only charm people, you know. A figure can only attract people. But what really makes people listen to you, care about what you're saying, and actually practice it in their lives is the way you speak out and reach out to them. So I think communication with people is much more important than whatever you have externally.
Will you follow this up with, now that you are crowned Miss Universe, in the next months to come, will this be your strategy to give out nicer thoughts, to represent your country in a way and change the image of your country, change the image of the world by your thoughts, by your dreams and aspirations, as opposed to just another pretty face? Is this your strategy?
Well, you know, I'm a poetess and I love writing poetry, and because I write poetry, I'm a dreamer and I love to fantasize things. And because I'm a dreamer, I wish a lot of good things in life, and like I said, I aspire, so I work to achieve them. Well, as in the capacity of a Miss Universe, I'm really gracious to God that He gave me an opportunity to show to the world what I am and who I am, and how much I could help if I had the capacity to. Well, I don't think I can disappoint anybody at this point of time. And yes, this would be my strategy, because I think me as a single person cannot really change the world all on my own. But I can help people to realize how we can all come together and change the world. And that is what I plan to do.
Very good. Sushmita, since the day I met her at the Araneta Coliseum, she got on my case. It's not Sushmita, it's Sushmita. But what does it mean?
Well, like I said, there are two ways you pronounce it. The first way is Sushmita.
Okay.
Sush means good.
Okay.
Mita means friend, a good friend.
Okay.
And if you pronounce it the second way, which is Sushim Ita.
Sushim Ita.
Sushim means beautiful. Ita means eyes.
Wow, beautiful eyes.
Beautiful eyes, yes.
A good friend with beautiful eyes. But your dad calls you?
Titan.
That's far from the good friend with beautiful eyes. What is Titan? It's not a...
Well, you see, when I was little, he couldn't really make out my eyes because all children look alike.
Okay.
So the eyes are all small, little, round, little peanuts. So he really couldn't think of giving me a name at that point of time, but he called me a Titan because, as a father, he always wished the best for me, always, ever since I was born. And I was born on the same day as Mrs. Indira Gandhi.
Wow.
And in fact, when I was born, the nurse came out and told my father, congratulations, another Indira born today.
Wow.
That's what made my father realize, and he said, I want my daughter to be like another Indira Gandhi.
Your father's very strong personality.
Oh, yes.
What does your father
Very
do? He is a...
He's an ex-service officer. He was in the defense as an Air Force pilot, and now he's an exporter.
Does he push you as he would, let's say, a son? Does he push you hard because of his strong...
That's the best part about him. He doesn't push me at all.
Great.
He says, you do what you want, just don't ever have any regrets in life. And if you do, don't come and tell me about them.
Now, Miss Universe wants to help the kids.
That's right.
The kids, not just of India anymore, it's kids of the universe, kids of the world.
Right.
How will you do this?
I think what really intrigues me is orphan children, children who are suffering because...